name's
Hi
Francis
everybody, welcome to
Sawyer,
Frank Analysis.
but everybody
I'm your host
calls me
Franco.
Psycho.
Joining
Any of
me
you
back
guys
on
call me
this show
Francis,
for the
and I'll
second
kill
time,
you.
Max Blumenthal, editor and
Ooh,
founder of The Gray Zone,
you just made the
author
list,
of
buddy.
several books including
And I
The
don't
Managing
like
the
nobody
Strategy.
touching my
I
stuff.
have him on to discuss
So
his
just
most
keep your
recent
meat hooks
article
off.
with Kit
If I
Clarenberg
catch any of you guys in my stuff, I'll kill
Leaked
you.
Files revealing
Also,
UK state
I don't like nobody touching me.
astroturf
Now,
king
any of
and
you,
breadtube star
oh,
known as Abigail Thorne to counter critics
ohs,
of
touch me,
the public-private
and I'll kill you.
narratives surrounding the road.
Lighten up, Francis.
We will touch on what
Yeah,
briefly for people who don't know.
yeah.
Although I have gone into depth with this, including with Caleb Maupin, author
So,
of
yup.
BreadTube Serves Imperialism.
This is live stream territory.
Who Max Blumenthal had on his show Foreign Agents recently.
Franco
that was a great
fake
discussion.
looks
But first, I'd
over
like to welcome Max back on the show.
to his
Great to
left
have you, man.
or right.
Pretty good. Good to be back.
He wants people to think he had
Awesome.
notes on the
So,
side when
I
he's
talk on
looking
this show
straight
why I think
forward
it's
into
important
a
to expose
teleprompter to read.
disingenuousness. It's a long word.
Disingenuousness?
Disingenuousness. Thank you.
Edited id.
From
Did they steal
influential
that from
people,
at a
that
shtick? I
listen
think
to their
yesterday.
audience into what the state and
A couple
corporations
days ago, I went
possibly do.
edited id.
So I want to hear
What a tough
your
word.
take is on why it is so important
Blumenthal is
to expose
obviously
these disingenuous
reading
people.
off of a teleprompter.
Well, it's
He
not
has
really
to look
about
to his own
exposing
right.
people for me.
Now
It's
Franco's
about
looking at
exposing
Blumenthal.
structures of power
Excuse me.
and how they manipulate us.
Usually takes me a few minutes to get
That's
situated
something you'll notice just in
and
all
figure
of our
out
work
what
Gray
they're
Zone,
looking
that
at
we're
each
trying
time.
to help people understand
I just put in the old
how
video in the middle
there
there. It doesn't really
is
mean anything.
an architecture
That's handsome truth.
of manipulation.
It's all part of the same
lurking
ecosystem. Tim
behind
Pool.
the kind of official explanations for
Blumenthal shaking
foreign
his head,
policy
reading.
and everything that pertains to
He gets big page views.
our lives, but
So he goes on
we
Franco's
focus primarily on foreign policy at the Gray Zone
crap
and on
show
international
every
politics,
once in a
because that's
while.
an area where there's
The
least
same reason
democratic
Jimmy
input.
Dore went on
That's where
those
the public
shows.
has the least influence.
This is a fake
And
internet.
it is
These are
one of
called
the most
rat
protected
snitches
areas.
or
And it's
informants.
an area where policy is shaped.
It's hard. I don't think they're
by what can be
agents.
crudely referred to as a deep state, a
Maybe
national
Blumenthal's an
security state,
agent,
a
but
foreign
I think
policy
he's more.
establishment that
Oh, so
has
yeah.
influence
I think he's more of a
extends
son of
from administration
someone
to
famous,
administration in
and
the U.S., regardless of who
I
the
think
president
he's
is.
one of
Of course,
those
there are
junkie
different factions
informants.
that come in with each administration.
So Franco, I
And now
caught
we're seeing,
him
with COVID,
as
a
Ike
kind of
G
biomedical
Sports.
establishment reveal its face. It's always been there.
I caught Misty
It's
Winston
very similar.
calling up to fault lines.
It reveals its face during periods of public health crisis.
I'm including their whole faces in this one.
We saw the FDA
It'll keep the
take
aspect
action against,
ratio.
people.
There are
who
no
were
white
suffering from
teleprompters
AIDS
with
who were
these
using
guys,
off-patent drugs. And
but one can
it was the
see
same.
Blumenthal
and
is
NIH as
reading.
well was hostile to those people, and we saw many of the same figures in charge then as are now.
It's a house of cards that should fall,
dealing with many
but
of
it
the
won't because the medium's rigged.
many of the same issues.
Most
and the
people
public
just go
is
through their
naturally
lives. They're not
going
involved
to
in
be
internet
upset about it.
honey traps.
There is an element in the public that represents kind of the activist community.
Blumenthal goes
has
into
connections with various
a monologue
grassroots
basically,
elements,
and you look at his
unions,
eyes,
on
he's
campus,
reading.
and so on. And that element typically represents
All these people are
which represents
COINTELPRO,
the left,
and I have
typically
outed
presents
them all
greatest
at
threat
once.
to
I've
this power
outed the
apparatus, to this power
institution
elite.
of Internet
And so
COINTELPRO.
it's been targeted.
I have completely outed what to look for and what the
to
basic
kind of suppress
deception
its natural,
represents, what they're basically doing.
inclination to expose power, to challenge it,
Got about
and to disrupt really bad
15
policy.
seconds
And in the
till
COVID
this
era,
part
we've
one
seen
ends.
that the left has actually
Yep,
become
he was
kind of
Ike G
the base of
Sports.
support for
Misty
most
Winston was
restrictive and
Marie from
phony
Georgia calling up fault lines. And then Shane quit. I discussed it with him in chat.
Official policies. This is,
So this is
largely
part
due to
2.
what the left has become in contemporary U.S.
Guess I'm
culture.
checking out the
How it's
sports.
been
So
domesticated,
I've already established
foundationalized.
Blumenthal's
Most of its
reading.
leadership comes
That
out
proves
of
he's a
NGOs
paid fake.
or has, been domesticated through the campus experience and getting multiple advanced
100%
degrees and so on. They play
scripted
respectability
internet.
politics, but there's still an effort there.
Franco looking straight ahead at a teleprompter,
And
same
what we
as
expose
Blumenthal.
here in
He
this
fake
story
looks to that.
is how YouTube influencers,
To our
at
right,
least one
Franco
major
does.
YouTube
He wants to
influencer,
give the
has been
impression,
brought in
after my
to
last video of
eventually
him
to,
with Jardula,
to ultimately tamp down
he wants people to
on
think he
popular
had notes on the
resistance
side.
to unpopular
When
Western European
he has to actually look to the opposite side to
and
see
their COVID
Blumenthal.
policies, and specifically in the UK.
Blumenthal,
And this personality
I'm pretty
happens
sure,
to be a
has to
founding
look
member of something
towards
called
Franco himself, from what we're
overall
saying,
represents,
to see Franco.
and this is Caleb Maupin's thesis that he puts forward in his book,
They're doing the old, in this show, I have it on low because it really doesn't matter, but
collective
what they're doing here, they're
YouTube
calling this
Twitch and
RedTube
social
thing
media
a psyop.
has
So they're
been
trying to
promoted
give the impression that
and
they're not a psyop,
in order
that they can
to
easily discuss
weaken,
these trigger topics
the
and
kind of
words
natural
without flinching. But they do flinch.
tendency to
Some like
oppose
Whitney Webb and this guy
imperialism,
Blumenthal, they're the best
and
of
they
the best
pose as
because they
socialists,
don't,
but they're actually undermining
they're not, they're strong
what would
characters.
traditionally be
I'll put it that way.
as Marxism,
At some
especially
point,
Marxism-Leninism, which is a real base of
the
anti-imperialism.
ratio,
And then you have Abigail
the setup
Stern
gets changed. They go to the side. So
advancing
at some point, the screen's going to go a little nutty at the end here, and I'm going to be lazy and not
so-called
do anything about it.
Which has become a catch-all
So there'll
word
be
for
a little
anyone who
bit at the
opposes
end
official
of this
government
part 2.
COVID policy through a project called Countering
I do
Suicide.
like 5 minutes.
I know that was kind of a
time.
long-winded way of getting to the point of the article, but if you watch my discussion with Caleb, which is even longer, it's like
Caleb,
2.5 hours
an
long.
RT guy, so
We
they're
go
all
through the
just
whole
basically
history
incestuous.
of the
They plug
national
each other,
security
they go on each
state
other's
or intelligence
shows, it's
services
news making news.
using cutouts
They call themselves
and various
activists.
third-party operations to target the left since the
I
dawn
don't really
of the
take
Cold War,
notes for
and
making
to
videos.
fracture
Not
it, to undermine it, and to create
This is so Orwellian. What is going
what
on with the internet?
CIA
Katie
used to call
Halper.
an
I mean,
NCL,
they're different people, yet they're all
that
paid
was
by the
broadly
same
supportive of
U.S.
imperial goals.
military.
Yeah, and same
They're talking
way
about
exposing
astroturfing,
institutions
and
is a great way
when
of
they're the
doing it.
astroturfers,
We need to know which individuals
Franco
these
likes to throw
institutions are
around the
using
word
to
informing,
try to manipulate the way in which
as
we perceive.
Manitalk did.
I really like that discussion you had.
Like if
with
someone's
Caleb
going to
back
use the
in
word
history,
informing,
discussing how the
they
intelligence
couldn't
community,
possibly
these institutions have
be
always been
an
involved in trying to
informant.
control the narrative.
They're
And
so
now what we're
innocent
seeing
to throw
is
the
that
words
they're
around.
challenging
That's
all
the
of the times.
rationale.
They're seeing that people
They're
on the
going
internet,
after
on YouTube,
military.
Twitch,
They want Mannings
that
and
kind of
and
style of
who's the
informing
other guy?
people is becoming more popular.
Snowden.
And let
They
me
want to
share
figure out
with
who
people real
in
quick
their
the article.
military could be
So
potential
leaked files expose
Snowden.
Syria psyop veterans astroturfing.
Oh, we can see them. Alright, that's good.
Critics, you
Yeah,
guys
Kit
who
Clarenberg. That's
protest the royal
AstroTurf
institution,
because I think he was
Valiant
on with
projects.
Fiorella the
So
other
what
day.
is the Royal Institution, Valiant Projects, and
Blumenthal
what was their
moves
role
around.
in
If you observe him,
influencing
he's got
regime
kind of a
change in Syria?
junky movement with his
Well,
body.
Kit Clarenberg is one of the better reporters out
Sort of
there
a medicated.
in
So the
obtaining
junkies have
and
like a
synthesizing
persistent
documents
medicated
that
feel to them.
have exposed
And they're
the dirty
lifelong
world of Syria,
junkies. They can't quit. They need,
where Western
what is it,
intelligence,
methadone? I'm no
specifically US
expert
and
on that
UK
stuff.
intelligence, have spent billions of dollars.
That woman in the bottom
not
there,
only arming and
Suzanne
training
Murphy, she was on Roar
Al-Qaeda-related
Media, and she
factions
quit
inside
after it exposed
Syria
her as
to
rich.
ravage that
She's like
country
1%.
in a failed attempt at
I
toppling
don't know how she's
the
bouncing
government
up
of
to
Damascus, but they would
from the
also work with
Guess that's the
sort
way
of
it goes.
media hubs and
This is
public relations who are basically spooks,
turn them
mostly
up
in
a
the
little
UK.
bit.
I mean, it's all of this has been
They're
exposed
talking about
through
spooks.
various leaks and document dumps in the UK. But basically, the British intelligence would
One can
hire
see
these
self-triggering.
cutouts. One of them was Valent Projects,
Like
which
these
was a
guys are
spin-off of
cutouts.
other cutouts like ARC
They're spin-offs of other
that
cutouts.
would set
He's
up
reading.
fake independent media outlets and organizations
Fake
inside
independent
Syria
media.
to tell the Syrian opposition side of the
It's
narrative
total
and then convey it
self-triggering.
back to the British and U.S.
One could
public
see
and make it seem like
Franco
it was an
kind
organic
of a little flustered.
representation of what was happening on the ground in Syria. They would also help brand or rebrand the rebels,
Trying to eat my dinner.
who we
So
know
get
are
through this
just
5-minute.
notorious for heinous human rights atrocities, as you know, a free Syrian army
There's
that's
Echo
secular, who are moderate
I
rebels,
added them in
and
there.
actually the
So Convo
very
Couch,
person
their
who
footage was
founded
used in the
Valent
Sicknick
Projects,
case.
Emil Khan, was in charge
They
of
were filming for
rebranding the
police in
CIA-backed
Washington,
Free Syrian
and they
Army
were
as a
filming for
secular
police
group that had
in
no connection to
Echo Park,
jihadists or Al Qaeda.
Venice Beach.
This guy
Is that
was
what
at the
it's
heart
called?
of
Echo
the
Park, California.
psyops around the
So,
Syrian dirty war.
oh yeah, psyops
So Valent
triggered
Projects was brought in
Franco.
by the Royal Institution to
These
handle
guys are so
this
exposed.
project called Countering
I'm hoping
Pseudoscience. The Royal
you
Institution is
going,
run by the Prince of Wales,
I'm hoping
and
video
that
and
is
blogging
Prince
on
Charles,
Blumenthal here will get more
who
page views.
is
Because I'm simply trying to plant the
not the most
idea
scrupulous
that these
individual.
guys are 100%
He has done a
scripted,
pretty poor
and
job of
it's
actually
proven
managing the Royal
true,
Institution,
just following their
and they've had
eyes.
to sell off a lot of their art
So they're
collection,
faking
and
having Zoom
they're
meetings.
holding basically a
They're
fire sale
faking
to
as
maintain
activists.
their
They're faking as
very
independent, as
Tony
journalists.
ritzy
They're faking as
offices
organic.
in London.
Look at Blumenthal
But at the
reading
beginning,
off
at the
the
dawn of the
teleprompter.
pandemic, when the pandemic
No
was
one in
declared,
real life
the Royal
talks like
Institution got a
that,
cash
bobbing their
infusion
head like
from the
that.
British Ministry of Culture
No one.
that was earmarked
So
for
F
video
these
production.
people.
The kind of videos
I
that
wish to
would be
God there
produced
was someone
through
out
Valent
there with
Projects.
journalism skills, with
And what Valent
the
did was
skills
they
to investigate
designed
these
a, quote,
people and to
mass
expose
appeal
them.
social media campaign fronted and owned by prominent social media
These
figure
are what's
Abigail
called
Thorne,
rat
who is the founder of
snitches, period.
PhilosophyTube, which has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Look at that
You
paid
go there,
fake
and every month
Max
you'll get
Blumenthal
a
reading onto the
detailed
teleprompter.
history
There's
lesson
H.A.
presented
Goodman, his
by
dad
Abigail
is
Thorne,
CIA agent
a
Melvin
talented
Goodman.
actress who uses
I have a lot of
costumes and
scoops.
artisanal sound to
I was on the
illustrate
internet
her points
15
about
years.
various historical intrigues
I'm better
and
than
philosophical
Blumenthal.
debates.
Goodman's
Someone
a
who
sleaze
has
bag.
over
I don't.
7,000
There's no even arguing that he's
paying
scum.
subscribers through
And
Patreon.
Blumenthal, there should be
Takes
no
great
argument
pains
either.
to
Tim
thank
Pool
her
is scum.
patrons.
Rogan is scum.
Is
Frank is scum.
very credible.
Who is Britney
on the
Spears
surface,
called her sister
and
scum
has
people?
done paid
So that's
content
what these
before,
people
which she
are,
has
the
acknowledged.
scum
But here
people
you have a
who
campaign
work
that
for
was
Homeland
totally
Security,
covert,
FBI, COINTELPRO. That's
these
what these people are, the Five Eyes.
were obtained through a leak by Kit Clarenberg.
Oh good, only about
and
a little
we would
over
have
a
never
minute to
known about this
go.
project, although the public evidence was
Project
there
Vigilant?
of Thorne doing kind of like public
So Max
talks about
Blumenthal,
the
he's a weak
pseudoscience
little
campaign with Valent
idiot.
Projects. But let's just put
Sold
the pieces
out.
together.
He's a drug addict. He
Okay.
is scripted.
You got
None
the
of his
royal
words
family,
are his own.
funded by the British state.
Look at him
they're
wobbling
basically the
back and
ultimate
forth.
kind
Same
of
with the
welfare queens, like just leeching off the British state.
drug addict.
They're just
on
a channel for
on our
money
left,
here.
Franco.
Prince Charles.
We don't even know his real. These people.
He's not exactly this brilliant
we only know
operator
Blumenthal
designing
because of his
psyops.
dad.
He's just a front man.
Look at they got
for
Lee
the
Camp's
British
son.
state. So this is a state
They gave
operation.
Lee Camp's son a show.
The
They're
people
not
that
even
are
letting
doing
him use
the
his real
forensic
name.
work
That's how
to
fake
design
these
this
losers
campaign.
are.
These are
Lee
spooks.
Camp is a paid
These are
fake.
people who are taking
Graham
the lessons
Elwood
they learned in the Syrian
is
dirty
so
war
sleazy.
and bringing them back
It's
home
not
for a
even
new
debate.
kind of
Just
war,
reading off of
which is filled with
teleprompters.
plunder.
They're all
This
exposed.
is, the COVID war.
I've exposed them. That's it. That's the show. Thank you. Spread the word. Take care. Truly.